gives you something to do, just do it. And in doing it, don't quit. Remember, if you're going through hell, keep going. You have a destiny. You have a purpose. And God is waiting on you to get there. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Let's Talk with Samantha Williams. Today, I really want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like it, share it with anyone who you feel can be blessed by this episode because today, this is going to be special. I have a very special guest here with me. Her name is Shevone Munroe, and she speaks to resilience, she speaks to character, and she speaks to faith. And so, at this time, please welcome Shevone Munroe to the show. Hi, Shevone.
Hi, Samantha.
Awesome. So how you feel about sharing your story with us today?
I think it's about time. I was a little nervous, but I'm okay. I'm good. I'm excited.
Okay.
I am the eighth child of my mother's children. My mother was a Jamaican. She passed in 1986 when I was 11 years old. So from the time of my birth to the time of her passing, we were taken away from her in 1980 because of some jealous friend in the neighborhood claimed that she was not taking care of us, which was not true. And so from 1980 to 1986, she tried her hardest to get her two last kids back. She just thought that she failed herself again because she left 6 in Jamaica and now she came here, she had 2 more, and those 2 were taken away from her. So from that time to now, I miss her.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
I could imagine that. That truly is a compelling story. Do you know why she had to come to the Bahamas? What led her to come to the Bahamas during that time?
She was married. Her husband drank. And I guess he probably carried on bad as well. She never drank a day in her life living in Jamaica. But she decided to come and make a better life for herself and her children. She was dropped along with other persons in Nassau. And somehow she made her way to Grand Bahama. And that is when she had my older sister, and then she had me.
Right.
Yeah.
So with her being here in Grand Bahama, how was that? How was her life in Grand Bahama at the time?
I was only with her for 5 years because I born in 75 and she died in 1980. So I only got to know that my mother was a Jamaican, honestly, when we were fostered, but other people used it as a leverage to tease us and like hurt us or whatever. So I honestly didn't really understand what that was all about until I got older, like a teenager or whatever. But I have vivid memories of my mother living, because we lived in Pinders Point, and persons say, how you can remember that? I could remember. I don't know, for some reasons I could remember from probably the age of 3 to the age of 5 when we were taken away. And she loved us. Despite her situation, she took care of her kids, because remember I said she left 6 back in Jamaica. So she wanted to make sure that she dealt with the 2 that she had here properly and love us and try to secure us. Her family back in Jamaica didn't know where she was. They thought she was supposed to be going to Canada, by the way. And they thought she was there, and they were wondering why she wasn't reaching home.
Yeah.
So they were actually looking for her while she was here in the Bahamas, but she felt like she was a letdown. She let her family down. She felt like she was a disappointment to her children. So she hid away, and they never knew where she was until her passing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
When she was in I believe it goes, I could be wrong because I was young, but when she was in the hospital, I believe the paperwork that she had, that they were able to reach out to family members by whatever documentation she had with names and numbers. And so, yeah, my brother only knew where his mother was when he had to come and pick up her body.
Wow, that must have been difficult. On one hand, they were thinking one thing, and it was a totally different thing on the other hand. So, her living here in Grand Bahama, transitioning from Jamaica, how was that? Like, how was that set up? Like, from your memory?
From my memory, she was very quiet and reserved. I know people will probably think that I talk a lot, but I only talk a lot when I get around people who I know.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a little bit of her in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was very quiet and reserved, and she liked to laugh.
Yeah.
And smile. Yeah. But I could tell you this funny story when we were in the home. And somebody would say, oh, they called her Yvonne. Oh, Yvonne is coming. So they, for whatever reasons, they would lock the doors. And I mean, she would come around there, and what she didn't tell those people was not in her thoughts to say. But I could tell you, she fought hard for us.
Yeah.
And when she lost the two of us here in the Bahamas, that's when she even went even deeper.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Even
deeper.
So when did life start to change for you?
In 1980, she fell out, and she asked the lady, the next door neighbor, if she can watch us. Because when she came to, the ambulance was there, and they had to take her to the hospital. So she asked the lady if she can watch us. As I talking to you, I can see it.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine. Take your time.
She asked the lady to watch us for her, you know, and the lady was supposed to be her friend. And the lady promised her that she would. Yeah. And as we stood there and we watched the ambulance pull out of the yard, a couple moments later, a car pull up, and that was social services with the police. And she told them that our mother left us in the house for days without anything to eat or drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That must have been a huge life-changing moment.
It was. Because I was very clingy to my mother. And so when we were taken away and we end up at the home, the only person left for me to be clingy with was my sister.
Right.
And she's only a year and some older than me, so she's not that much older.
Right.
But she was my older sister.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
But take me back to that moment, right? I want to ask you if there's something you could say to your younger self in that moment when that happened, what would it be?
As simple as this may sound, I think I would have told myself everything will be okay. Yeah. Because look where I am today. Yeah. Everything would be okay. But because of the unknown, I didn't know. Yeah.
Your journey truly took you on a totally different path, right? You were with your mom, you and your sister, and as far as you knew, y'all were loving together, living life.
Life was life.
Life was life, right? And so something just happened and everything changed in that moment, right? So let's talk about the transition as to what happened after you were taken from your mom, right? You and your sister. What was the hardest part about entering the children's home? Because that's where you ended up after you were taken. Social services came and they took you. What was the hardest part about entering the children's home?
The hardest part was it was a foreign place. I didn't know that place. It was all kind of other kids around, the adults who worked there, but I didn't know them. So it was hard. Yeah, it was hard.
I can imagine. So did you feel abandoned in that moment, or were you able to cling to people? I know you said you cling to your sister, but outside of your sister, was there anyone else, once you got in there, you were able to connect to?
Yeah, I didn't feel abandoned, but because I had my sister. But yeah, there was this other lady that I think she came to work there probably a year or two later. And for whatever reason, she just took to me.
Yeah.
And so, she looked out for me. She made sure that I was okay.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So,
Yeah.
yeah. As long as my sister was around, I was okay.
Yeah.
The minute they take her and she's not there,
Yeah.
then all hell break loose.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Because that's your rock,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the rock that you knew was removed,
Mm-hmm.
and so you had to lean on that, and that's understandable. Being being the older sister, even though she was just a few years, well, a year and some months older than you were.
Mm-hmm.
So, how were you able to cope mentally, emotionally, for the most part, in that child space? Emotionally, how were you able to cope?
I didn't know then, but I know now. Clearly, God was with me, and God He had a purpose for my life, and so I was able to cope. But like I said, as long as my sister's there, I was able to cope. I was shy. I was quiet. I didn't say much. I didn't talk much. A lot of people back then in the early 80s, late 80s, a lot of people volunteered at the home. Persons from out of the community, and a lot of persons like wanted to take me.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't allow them to take me, because if they only wanted me,
Yeah.
I wasn't going, because my sister had to go too.
Yeah.
And so, I went a couple of times with her, but they only took us for like a couple of days, and they brought us back. But a lot of persons wanted me, but they didn't want her.
Okay.
And I had a problem with that.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that, because I have a sister who is about a year and some months older than I am too. And I could so relate to that. Like, they say we look alike and everything. I don't see it. But they say we look alike. So Monique, if you're watching this now, hi twin. But yeah, and I can imagine, that bond that you have with a sibling that's so close in age, and then when other persons want to have you in their space and they don't want them, it makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
And I love that you were like, no, that is not happening. I love that. Okay. I absolutely love that. So did you have a mentor or a caregiver who, made a difference in your space? I know you said that someone came there 2 years afterwards, but was she someone who actually made a difference, or were there other mentors or caregivers who did make a difference?
I wouldn't say there was. There wasn't. I believe the Miss Quant at social services, she ran social services at the time. Whenever she had to deal with us, I looked up to her. Yeah.
That's good. It's always good to have someone who you can look up to in that space, especially when your life has been turned upside down. It's always good to have that. So I'm happy you had that. Now, did you find yourself being more guarded because of this experience? Because I can imagine, right? So to share that with us, let us know about that.
Yeah. So I didn't trust easy. I didn't trust easy because I was like, and at 5 years old, you understanding that somebody betrayed your mother. So I didn't trust. As I got older, I didn't trust easily. You had to actually gain my trust, and I built up a wall. So I was like more defensive. Like if somebody come at me and they come at me the wrong way, I would always, and then also too, my sister was my protector. So what I couldn't do, she did.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were there for each other. We had each other's back.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you're like tag team.
Yeah.
Right? Or pretty much work by committee. When she was up, you was like, okay, I can step back and let her deal. And when she was down, you was like, okay, I can step in the forefront.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right.
And that's how you had to do to survive.
Right.
Because it was just you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to say that we didn't had our times, because being in the home and back then, I have a problem with people mentioning my color today.
Yeah.
Reason being is because back then, like everybody only liked the lighter kids.
Yeah.
And they would treat the darker kids some kind of how.
Wow.
And my sister's darker than I am. And so when we got gifts, and especially dolls, they would buy
Mm-hmm.
me the white doll,
Mm-hmm.
and they would buy her the black doll.
Mm.
And I wanted the black doll
Right.
because I knew I was black.
Right. Right.
You know, I don't know, for some reason I knew I was black.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how the white doll looks. So I
Right.
wanted the black doll, and I was wondering, but I didn't talk much.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, why would they always buy me the white doll? So I feel like she felt some type of way that they treated her that way, not for the fact that I was okay with it, because I wasn't. You know, so we had our differences for a couple of years, even coming into, you know, adolescent and adult age. But we worked that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work it out. And especially me, because I love family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may be small, but I love family.
Yeah. I'm happy that you were able to work it out. And I think with siblings that happens. But even though that was an outside force that, you know, caused it.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm happy you worked it out, because, you know, siblings have their little rivalry.
And we're all we have.
And that's all you have. Right, exactly. So I'm super happy about that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, listen, I used to be tussling with my siblings. My sisters, I used to tussle with them, but that's, you know, they're my sisters, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for them.
Right.
I love them dearly.
Right.
You know, and that's what it is.
Right. But I could tell you one thing too, though. We may fight each other, but don't let somebody from the outside come.
Exactly.
Because that's it.
That's it.
It's on.
That's it. That's it. I know that's right. So how has your past shaped how you parent now or today in this time? How is it? Yeah.
That's a good question. Because I didn't have parents in my life, I always said that whenever I have my kids, I will make sure that I am the best parent there can be. I mean, parenting doesn't come with any manuals.
Right.
And you don't go to school to learn how to be a parent. But I believe that God placed that love in me, that I am able to love my kids the way that I want it to be loved.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. And the thing about it is, like, that's kind of expected when you think about it. And I'm happy that you were able to take that notion and run with it. Because if you didn't have it, you definitely want to give it.
Right.
You know? And so I'm happy you were able to do that. So did you have to unlearn any habits from what you experienced in your childhood? Did you have to unlearn anything, or not really? You were like, okay.
I always thought I was special. I don't know, for some reason, because I would see things and I would say, I am not going to do that. I'm going to make sure. And I always took mental notes of what I see, or how people will treat, how adults would have treated me and treat my sister. I always said that I will make sure that I would not do that. And not only for my kids, kids in general, any child that is in my presence, I will not treat them that way.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whenever they talk about Shevonne, I want them to always say, she was always kind.
Yeah.
She always shared, and she always prayed for me. That's what I want them to talk about.
Yeah. Awesome. Good answer. Now, do you think? Well, I know there's some scars that would have come. Do you think you've healed, or are you still in the process of healing, or you feel as if healing is a lifelong process?
I think healing is a lifelong process. You can't stay where you are.
Yeah.
But you definitely can transition and move and learn as you go. And you're not going to pass that test all the time, but at least pass it once so you can move on to the next level. Yeah.
Your story is so inspiring, Shevonne. I've had my experience with adoption and fostering and being a guardian, or however you want to look at it. So I could imagine. I know there was a time when you were outside of the children's home and you were placed in an environment where persons took care of you. You want to share about that a little?
Yeah. So this was another instances where they came, they looked, and they wanted someone. They saw me and they wanted me, but I was not going without my sister. But I guess they wanted me that badly that they took my sister along too. But I felt like that I felt like that played against her,
Mm-hmm.
more so because she wasn't wanted, she wasn't treated right, and I had a problem with that. You know, I whatever treatment they gave her, I made sure I stayed with her, and I don't mind getting that same treatment because I don't want them to think that I am better than my sister, for them to treat me any kind of way because of how I look.
Yeah.
As opposed to the way that she looks, and they didn't want her. Yeah. So growing up in 85, and we were there until about 13-ish, because it's so funny that they took us away from our mother, because she drank,
Right.
and then placed us in a home with someone else who drank.
Wow. The irony.
Right. And so I was always candid. I was always, even though I didn't speak much, I spoke truth. So I called and I let them know that this is what is happening. And how could you take us away from our mother because of that? And then you place us where the same thing is happening.
Yeah. At 13, you did this. Wow.
Yeah. And so we were taken back from up there, and we were placed in the girls' home. Because at this time they had created a home for teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that speaks volumes. Like that says so much about your character. That says so much about your personality. That says so much about, you know, the will of God on your life. Like God, even in that moment, he was already constructing some situations for you, because he had you be able to identify the situation that wasn't working for you, and have the power to speak on it, and to say, you know what, this is not going to work. This is hypocritical. You know, we need to be out of this.
Right.
That is so powerful.
Right.
And I have to say that I love that. I hope and I wish for more people, more young people in particular, to be able to speak truth to power, to be able to use their words to speak, so they can come out of situations that are not working for them.
Yes, and stand up for themselves.
And stand up for themselves. Kudos to you. Yeah. So go ahead and finish share about that.
Yeah. So I did not like the way that my sister was being treated, and so I guess because I was pulling back as the years go by, I didn't get treated as badly as she was, but you know, I didn't feel the love. My stepfather, he was the better parent, but he didn't say much, and so if you don't, you know what they say, when you don't say anything, you're just as bad as the other. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and so then we were placed in the girls' home, and I started to open up, because a lot of the girls that were there were in the home, the children's home. Yeah. So they grew up, and then they moved from the children's home into the girls' home. So when we came back, we knew them anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So they were like our sisters. And at this time, I guess they were trying something new. They brought the Salvation. This is how Salvation Army got here. And so we used to have majors who would be there, live on in the girls' home with us. They would have their quarters. Yeah. And we would have our section. And so they were like mothers. Okay. At the girls' home. And
so this environment kind of created a family. So it actually got better.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it got better. I mean, mind you, we fostered family relationships with the families. Not everyone welcomed us. Yeah. So I was the type that whoever loved me that's who I would love. Yeah. You know, I didn't disrespect the others. I didn't let them push me around. Yeah. Because as we got older, my sister would tell me, you know, you have to try and start fighting back for yourself, you know. So I was like, okay, you know, and then at the time we were still tuggling. We would still have our situations, and you know, and I would let her take advantage of me. But then as we grew, I started going this way because I was like this. She was here.
Oh.
And as I grew, I got taller than her.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah. So you started to get the upper hand.
Yes, you know, as I look back on it, I would laugh, you know, because we were young, stupid.
Yeah.
Didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, that's growing pains.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
So the thing is, your story resonates a little bit with my story because I adopted. And so I'm wondering, like, upon hearing my story, because you're familiar with my story.
Yes.
Do you feel like there's anything about my story that stands out to you and your journey?
I think your story is a little bit much better than my journey, because you showed love.
Yeah.
You gave her love, but it's just that, whatever happened, to her, she's not able to overcome, and praying, and hopefully that she is able to overcome it. But like I say, with me, I would put her on the level with my sister, because my sister, she took a lot of things hard, and so people would say, that she was treated the way that she was treated because she was rebellious. But I don't think that was the case. I just don't think that she got the love that she needed. So she's on the level as your daughter, but you give your daughter love, which in my sister didn't get that.
And that's the thing, you have to give love to children, and it doesn't matter whether they're adopted, whether they're fostered, or your guardian, or your biological parent,
right? Or you're just mentoring them.
You're just mentoring, right? You have to give love. It has to be a genuine thing.
Yes.
You have to open your heart,
yes,
to these children. You can't just be doing it willy-nilly,
Yeah.
So I could totally understand that. Now, if there's anyone who is having this experience right now with their adoptive child or their foster child, or they're going through a similar situation, is there anything you can say to them if they're considering it? Well, first of all, if they're going through it, for those who are going through it, or those who are considering it,
Right.
whether it's adopting, fostering, whatever it is, what advice or what would you say to them if they were considering this?
I would say to them, first of all, the one especially who's considering, think long and hard. Because that will be a lifetime decision that they're making. So they have to think long and hard, and think about when situations arise, how they're going to deal with it, if they're able to deal with it. Because it's not an easy fit. To take on another child that doesn't carry your genes. Have genes of other persons that you may not even know. So you won't be able to maybe handle it too much because you don't know where they came from to assist them, to help them go where they're going. And I would say to the ones who are already in it, if you love that child, do the best that you can with the situation. And if they don't want it, then you just have to let it go. You just have to let it go.
That's some good advice, Shevonne. That's really some good advice because, I totally agree with you that we have to really think about it long and hard. Me personally, I wouldn't discourage anyone from doing it.
No.
If I'm being honest with you, I would do it again.
Right.
I would not change any of that. I just would encourage persons just like you to think about it, and then also to be prayerful about it, and ask God to help show them how to deal with the challenges, because they're going to come.
Yes.
It's not if they're going to come, they will come.
Right.
And so I think to see if they could become equipped, well equipped to handle what they're getting into.
Right.
And I mean, that applies to children on the whole.
Right.
But this is even more special because you're dealing with, like you said, genes that you have no idea. You're dealing with the biological side of it with the genes. And then, of course, you're dealing with the spiritual side of it.
Yes.
So it's a lot to take in. So definitely I would encourage persons to think about it, to pray about it, and to be well equipped for it.
Right, because they can. Because parents who have children, they have no choice but to deal with their children because it's theirs.
So
And even some parents wash their hands of their kids, their own biological.
Yeah.
So yes, you have to be prayerful.
Yeah.
And you have to think long and hard.
Yeah.
Before you decide to do something like that.
Yeah. You made a very good point just now about having your own biological children and they doing what they want to do. So that means it encompasses the fact that you have to pray about it no matter what. So you have to pray about whatever the situation is. There's no distinction when it comes to this type of thing. When you're dealing with children, you have to pray and ask God to help you to be able to lead these children, to be able to deal with the challenges as they come. So when you think about it, it's all one and the same.
Yes.
So that's some good advice. That's some good advice.
Yes.
So, Shevonne, through all you've been through regarding your upbringing, being in the children's home, being fostered, I would have to say that God is faithful. Like
he surely is.
He is faithful. All right. So let's have a look at God's faithfulness in your life. I know that you told me earlier that you believe that God has had his hand on your life. You said that, and you agree to that, right? And what was the reason you said you believed that again? That you believe that God's hand was on your life even from that time.
Because of where I'm at today.
Yeah. So
I
God
do.
is good. He's faithful.
I am thankful. I am thankful and I'm grateful and I'm definitely humble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about, was there a turning point when you truly saw God working in your life? Like as you were going through everything, did you notice this was a particular time when God was working in your life?
There was this one time, my sister and I, because at this time she was staying with herself, by herself. So I went to live with her, and I was still in high school, and we lived in Rumpke Villas. Lord, I could tell you. And so of course, John B. Barr was right in Princess, and there was this is the Gulf entrance, what do you call it, road where the golf carts drove to get to the courses and
I know
the golf course and whatever. And so in the nighttime, it's like really dark. I mean, and they had like little one pole here, there, whatever. And there was this time that I went to Princess with my friends, but they weren't ready to go home. But I lived right in Rumpke Villas. And I walked through that dark road.
Ooh, you weren't scared?
Listen to me. Every time I think about that, my skin crawls because I'm like, Lord, you have had to been with me.
Yeah.
Yes, I walked through that road and I got home safe. I got home safe. And at that time, around that time, adolescent years, there were a lot of people who were going missing. Yeah. There was this young girl that I went to school with.
Wow.
She was picked up by somebody that she knew.
Wow.
And he took her to the beach and did whatever he had to do with her. And so.
Wow. So thank God he kept you.
Yes.
So even then you knew he had his hand on you. Wow.
Yes.
I thank God for that.
Yes.
Wow. So how do you feel faith has played a role in your healing? Well, I know you're still in the process of it. And I totally agree with you. Healing is a process,
It is.
But how do you feel faith has played a role? And are there any scriptures or anything in particular that stood out that you normally would use or you would go to, as you're going through this process?
Yeah. And like I would say, people always say, it's cliche, but honestly, John 3:16, I always kept that close to me. I always remember that, so God so loved the world that he gave his only son for a sinner such as me. Yeah. So nowadays it's Philippians 1:6, I believe it is, he who began a good work in you will see it through to fruition. Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly how it go, but that's summing it up. Yeah. So, and I accepted God as my Lord and Savior at a young age, at an early age, like probably around 18, 19, somewhere thereabouts. I mean, and I fell off the bandwagon plenty times. Yeah.
We all have.
Yes, but I had to get up and brush myself off. Yeah. But I never was a young girl. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I did things because I had my oldest son out of wedlock. Yeah. But I always felt like God had a hand in my life, and I always wanted to I always wanted to give back to him what he
Yes.
gave to me.
Yeah.
You know, I never wanted to be in the world doing the things that everybody else doing. You know, even at my age, I mean, I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
at my age, I don't have a tattoo on my body.
Yeah.
And back then, at that time, in my
It's
adolescence,
pressure. I
yes,
remember them.
plenty people,
It's pressure.
yes, were doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
marking their skins. But I always remember, you know, that
Yeah.
our bodies are the temple.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just going to Sunday school, because it's not like I had parents who would teach me that.
Wow.
But one thing I would say, we were allowed to go to church.
Yeah.
My foster parents, they were Anglicans, and I don't know, for some reason I wasn't feeling it. But the Baptist church was right down the road, and also too that I didn't mention that I love to sing.
Yeah.
I love to sing, and so I felt like the Anglican church was dry and dead. Sorry, Anglicans. And so me and a couple of my friends in the neighborhood, we would sneak to the Baptist church on their youth nights or whatever, you know. And the songs that they sang there, I loved it, you know, and they were songs that I could relate to and was able to sing, because I can sing.
Yeah.
I even found myself leading in their choir, and I'm not even a part of their church.
So sound like Shevonne.
Yes. So I'm sneaking off, going down there, and they probably peeping and wondering where she is.
Yeah.
She ain't reaching out, our lead singer, you know. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's an experience.
Yes,
that's
it
an
is.
Experience. Eh?
Yes, you can imagine sneaking off to go to church. I mean, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sneaking off to go to the club.
Right. And the thing about it, that reminds me, I used to do the opposite. We used to sneak to get out of church. Yeah, I enjoyed the youth side of it, the youth choir, the youth groups. I enjoyed it, and back home in Nassau, it was good. I enjoyed it, so I could relate. When we were younger, we used to sneak to not go, but as I got older, I enjoyed that. So I could totally relate to that. So tell me, Shevonne, how has your family, the one that God has given you, how have they helped you and they played a role in your healing? You know, would you be able to share that with us?
You know, my husband is a good person and he loves me, you know, and so he was always a provider. He came from a home with a father who provided for them.
Yeah.
And so he also came, and, you know, we became one, and then we had our family, and he made sure that his house was taken care of, you know. So I didn't have any examples, so that's the only example that I have, and I'm glad that I got a good example.
Yeah.
You know, because, and it's not that I had to do what a woman is supposed to do, and he did what a man was supposed to do, because we both work outside of the house.
Yeah.
You know, but he, even though I work, he still felt like, you know, he is the provider, and he makes sure that we have what we need.
Yeah. I love that for Shevonne. I love that for you. I love that God gave you beauty for ashes. I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yes. You know, and so, you know, before we wrap up, you know, let persons know, because they may want to reach out to you. They probably want to share something with you, or want to find out some more advice, or whatever it is. Let persons know how they can connect with you, should they want to.
Okay, so I'm Shevone M. Munroe on Facebook, and on Instagram, because I run a business, a 360 business. It's Whirlwind Productions, but my name, Shevone Munroe, is also there as well. And on TikTok, I'm a Nana. We didn't talk about that. So I'm Nana on TikTok. And they all have messaging where you can message someone. So they can reach out to me there.
Awesome.
I'll be happy to assist with whatever questions.
Awesome. So you said you have a 360 business. What is that?
360 photo booth.
Okay, a 360 photo booth. And you're also Nana on TikTok.
Nana on TikTok.
Okay, yeah. See, I know, because I be watching Nana.
Yes.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Shevonne, for being vulnerable, for sharing your story. I know persons would definitely be touched by it, and they could learn from your experience and be able to implement these in their lives. You know, persons who are going through with their adoptive children, who are fostering, just like myself, you know, the good, the not so good, and the indifferent. They'll be able to figure out how to navigate it and accept the challenges and deal with the challenges. So thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
I
And
truly
all is
appreciate
not
it.
lost.
Yes.
All is not
Yes.
lost.
I appreciate that.
Thank you too. And thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Tell my story.
Awesome. Awesome. So we want to be able to create more content like this so that we can share and we can help persons find their way and, you know, get from where they are to where they need to be. And with that being said, let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story, for he has delivered you from the hands of your enemy. Are you ready to tell your story? Let's talk about it.